This is Just Tool Basics, and today we're talking about tube squeezers. Hello everyone, welcome to Just Tool Basics. Today's topic is tube squeezers, which is a very simple, silly little tool, but saves some headache, saves some product, just makes it easier to get the last bit out of a tube of whatever it is that you have. So let's start with this little key style one. These really only work for metal tubed products. So for an example here, I have RTV. This one is not been spun up with this little key thing. And these are designed to fit right over the end of the tube. Obviously this one is not prepared. There we go. You pinch it flat, you shove the little key on there like that, and then you just kind of roll it up like that. And then it keeps all of the product up front, which makes it easier to squeeze out so that you have like a nice bulge when it's really flat. This one is obviously fairly full, so this is a little bit unnecessary, but keeps everything tidy. And with stuff like RTV, kind of the more compressed into one end it is, like the bulkier it is, the less likely it will be to dry out. If you've ever picked up an older kind of flattened tube of RTV and it's dried out, much more common than when you kind of squeeze it all to one end. Also, while these keys come in a multi-set, they're quite cheap. You're not forced to leave it in there. If you need to like squeeze another tube, you can always put it back in later on. Now, this thing, a little bit more expensive, still under 20 bucks or whatever, but this is really just for folks that don't want to be wasteful, or inevitably you're going to need like just the last bit, and getting whatever it is out of the tube better than having to run to the store or whatever the situation is. So, but if you're looking at this as return on investment, no, it will take many decades to get return on investment of this, but it works great. I've been horribly mangling this tube of toothpaste. This is not how I normally do my toothpaste tubes, but I've been specifically doing it for like a month just to show the demonstration of this tool. All it works, like, as you can see, it's hinged like that. You squeeze one end, squeeze it right at the tail, like so. Squeeze it with one hand, spin the thing with your other hand, and squeezes it all to one side. The ribs both squeeze as well as kind of make it retain its flatness, so it's less likely to kind of gush back down the tube. That's pretty much it. Keeps it nice and flat. This is of course a plastic tube, so like if you squeeze it like that and make it squeeze back into the body of the tube, you're going to end up having to do it again, but it's not like there's a limit. That is pretty much it. Again, you're not going to get the value that you paid for this unless you have very expensive tubes to squeeze. Like if you use oil paints, right? Great use of this. You don't want to waste some of those colors because they can be very, very expensive. But for things like RTV toothpaste, it will take you the rest of time to squeeze out enough, nickels of product in order to make it worth buying one of these things. But if you look at it from a hassle reduction, making it so that you have this thing available for when you're just trying to get that last bit out of the tube so you can finish your project, it's a much better investment for stuff like that. So anyway, if you find videos like this interesting, please consider subscribing. Until next time, this is Just Tool Basics. One take.